Welcome to my new channel, What Matters Most. Here's a sneak peek at some of the cleaning motivation and decluttering we'll be doing in today's episode. But first, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and why I started the channel. Welcome to my new channel, What Matters Most. My name is Nikki, and with this channel I hope to inspire you with content relating to organization, productivity, and decluttering, and overall just simplifying life. Everything I do in my life is to make more time for what matters most and to be willing to let go of all the rest. I used to be one of those people who constantly a slave to my to-do list, trying to get to the end of it, worked myself to exhaustion on several occasions, and yet that to-do list never seemed to get smaller. There was always things waiting in the wings to fill those empty spaces once you cleared out a bunch of room. No more, I say. I've been on a simplification journey for the last few years, and not a single thing that I've simplified have I regretted doing so. I talk so passionately about those categories all the time, and that's why I wanted to start a channel, because I feel like I have a strong message to send, and I get a lot of joy in helping people simplify their lives and feel less overwhelmed. As you can see behind me, I have a ton of books. My start on YouTube is as a science fiction and fantasy booktuber, content for which is still going strong. It's still my #1 passion. But I've been inspired to start this project for a couple of years now, so it's finally time to light a fire and get it going. In this intro episode, I'm going to show you a couple of the systems I currently have in place that are working really well for me. We'll do a little bit of organizing and cleaning motivation and a little bit of decluttering. So stay tuned. Don't mind minions in the background. It's rest time for my kids, so they're watching a movie. But I wanted to show you a David Allen getting things done capture system that I have running in my household to help me keep track of all the tasks that I've got on a daily basis. So let me show you what I'm doing here. On this side, I have a whole list of things that need to get done, and it is a full capture system. Anytime I think of anything, I write it on a sticky and it goes on this wall. And then the project that I'm currently working on, or task, gets put right here, and it helps me stay focused. It helps take the overwhelm out of how many papers I have there and takes the time pressure off of it. Like, I can take as long as I want to get this one thing done, and it can just get worked on gradually. And then when I finish, I stick it down here until I get tired of looking at all these papers and I throw these away. So this system is really working for me. I've done a digital version. I've also done pen and paper. But I like having the visual, and other people in my house can see this really well, and I've had my husband contribute a little bit just by like walking by and picking out a paper that he thinks he can handle real quick. So, but the one thing that isn't working, this started out as mostly a household task thing, like recurring, like clean the kitchen, do some laundry, but it's turned into an all-encompassing thing where it includes bigger projects. So with a capture system, you want to get the idea of a big project, like this hutch project that I have going. You want the idea of the project down, and then when you pick it and put it into the currently working process, that's when you break it down into little steps. So I kind of want to separate the big projects from the daily recurring things, and I think that'll help this from feeling a little bit overwhelming. So let's do that real quick. Okay, that's much better. So recurring tasks, things that only require one step up here, and then bigger projects down here. You can see I've been keeping track of a lot of bigger projects, kind of a season of change right now. And this one will be next. Honestly, we stopped moving things forward with this one, so I'm gonna add it back over here for a minute. And right now, today, I'm gonna finish out kid laundry. That'll be my next step. But hopefully during this video series, you'll get to see me kind of go through and knock a few of these things off the list. Like, there's always going to be tons of pink papers. So what my focus is on every single day, trying to feel good about what I'm working on and enjoy moving a few choice things forward. Let's go get that kid laundry done. just taking a minute to clear up my laundry room before I get started folding laundry. Helps me keep on top of things. You can always tell the state of my mental health by how cluttered my laundry room is. And right now we're doing pretty good. Now, I generally enjoy folding laundry. It's not a chore that I dread, but what I hate is spending all of my days working on tasking things instead of doing things that matter most to me. Laundry is something that I really don't feel like cuts into my day too much because I have a really good system going. The girls' laundry that I'm doing right here takes the longest of anything that I do, and I think that's mostly because I don't wash their clothes separately. It would be too much of a pain in the butt to separate their laundry throughout the days. So instead, I do them all in one load, and then it's worth it to me to take the time to separate everything out instead of just shoving it into a drawer, because that's totally acceptable as well. Not everybody has to fold their kids' laundry or any laundry for that matter. It's about finding a system that works for you. There's a lot of really good information about strategies in Casey Davis's book, How to Keep House While Drowning. Highly recommend that, if for nothing else than to get a lot of cool tips and tricks on how to make your life more customizable to what you need. One of my tips on keeping on top of laundry is having low inventory, and one of my favorite hacks for my kids' rooms is keeping things in completed outfits. I think we all have those pair of shorts that are so cute, but you never put them on your kid because there's not really an outfit to go with it. Or you have too many shirts and you're always watching pants. So low inventory seems to be the key. And then I prefer to take the time to hang everything up within its own outfit so that it's easy to grab from the rest of the week. It probably adds an extra 5 to 10 minutes to my laundry routine once a week. But then I don't have to mess with anything. There's no hunting for anything. And I would much rather take a little more time now and not have to work so hard going forward. So that's how I do things. It also makes it easier for others in my household to find what they need. And my kids are dressed in clothes that I absolutely love. I've curated things down to just the best outfits, the things that I love having them wear and that they like wearing. Now, to be totally honest, I've got a few more outfits here than I would like to have. I usually like to keep around 7 or 8, but I've got a lot of hand-me-downs and we got a couple of items gifted, so the closet's just slightly more stacked than normal. But as you can see here, I'm going through and pulling out a couple of the winter items, the warmer stuff that my kids don't need anymore because it's getting quite hot down here in the Southwest desert. But even with me arbitrarily deciding that I have too many outfits for each kid, it's still not more than I feel like I can handle, and processing the laundry from start to finish about once a week only takes 15 minutes, and I can handle that. Another thing I'd like to tackle is my garage. Now, it's probably cleaner than your average garage. But we're in a different season of life now. We've had a lot of transitions where we no longer have little babies, so we don't need a crib, we don't need the walls, we don't need the high chair. So all of that stuff that no longer has a function in our house has ended up in the garage because I have this intention to sell it. And my track record, we actually do sell it, but it has to sit here for like 6 months before we get the motivation to do it. So this is not one of those things where I feel like I have the bandwidth to do a massive garage clean out. Like, those videos are so satisfying to watch and I really love seeing the before and after. But no, I'm gonna give you a more realistic lifestyle approach where I am putting the garage as one of my intentions as a space to gradually tackle. And each video, I'm going to be moving myself one step forward to getting a clear garage. Let me show you what's in here and we'll kind of make a game plan on what I think I might want to tackle this week. Hey, walking into the garage. That showed up yesterday, so one more thing to take care of. So did all of this stuff. But the barriers I need to sell, some crafting stuff, boxes. Boxes always end up here and they're never mine, but I think I can handle tearing those apart this week. Just got some mismatched stuff. We've got a crib over there I need to sell. Need a better place for the bikes. This stuff is a hodgepodge of stuff that I need to sell and donate. And honestly, I don't even know what's in here at this point. Need to dig through, gradually work my way through that. We have an e-bike here that my mom bought that she has not used yet. A planter I want to use and some stuff that needs to be broken down because my mom got a lawnmower. And my mom and brother live with us in our walkout basement. So we're a multi-generational home. And yeah, we have a lot more stuff than I'm comfortable with. But this is a huge pile that is incredibly overwhelming to me. But I think if I give myself a realistic goal of just like getting through one thing a week, reducing the load, it'll somehow seem more manageable. So we'll pick something from that to do today, but also wanted to show you this side. This is a Christmas present for my besties. It's May, and I found it and it was just too perfect to pass up, so it's gonna live here for a while. But I've just got some like hodgepodge stuff, some tools on this thing, and I've got the typical massive wall of totes and stuff. Now, I'm actually quite proud of myself because I used to have 20 to 30 of these totes that just had all sorts of keepsake stuff in it, stuff from inside that I didn't want to get rid of, like extra pots and pans, stereo equipment. And I've reduced myself down to, this is kid overflow, where we're not sure if they're gonna notice if I got rid of it or not, so it goes in here. Guest bedding, empty stuff, Christmas, we've got hiking stuff, car seat from my van, summer toys, which now that it's getting into summer, I can probably take those out of there. And then this entire thing is just camping, bedding, and gear, like kitchen stuff. So really, we don't have a ton of stuff in here, but it's definitely not polished. Like, you can tell it's been a while since I've gone through and evaluated everything. So this stuff is probably going to be, see, I've even got empty bins. It's gonna be okay to leave alone. This is my lower priority. I would like to get to this eventually, but for now, the biggest thing is let's get all this crap off the floor so we can actually park another car in here, because it's a badge of pride for me to have a clear garage floor. So I'm gonna pick two things to tackle this week, because one I can do right now. I'm gonna get rid of these boxes, and I'm going to get rid of the boxes over here. So we'll get those out of the way. That's a quick win. And then this thing right here, it's one of those lawn configurations where you set up this track and then a like plastic car goes over it, and it's like this like woo ride for the kids. It was given to us like 3 years ago by my in-laws, and we have not used it since. My mom has kept it in a shed in the backyard, and we have never once pulled it out to use it. So even though everybody's protesting and they say they think it's so cool and they want to keep it, like, it has passed the time test. We know we're not going to use it. I had already taken pictures of this ages ago, and so I have them ready to go to post on Facebook Marketplace. So I'm going to make that my goal to do that by the end of the week. Cool. Since I was already messing with recycling, I figured it would be a good time to just unload all of these shredded paper bags from my car. I get these from work. We don't have a recycling program at work, so I bring everything home because I can't bear to throw anything away, making my life harder. Okay, another thing I wanted to show you. I have been collecting. Oh no, there's more. I was going to show you, I've got some boxes of donations here that just need to be dropped off. So at least they're in my car, and the chances that I'll rifle through them and bring stuff back in is pretty minimal. But, all right, let's get rid of these. It's a good thing recycling is in a couple of days. There's only 3 of these left, so I'm just gonna leave them in there until next week. But yeah, 4 boxes in here and then another one to add from my donation closet. Should be good. Okay, better stuff off the floor, and having those boxes away from over there is great also. So let's turn our attention to this thing. I usually keep a basket at the bottom and top of the stairs where I put stuff in that needs to be taken up and down. And honestly, I ignore what's in it a lot of times. Just being able to contain it away from my other surfaces is good enough, but I figured put something away on my way up anyway works out pretty well. An odd job that I used to have was installing hardware on new houses, and after one of them I brought home a closet rod that was a spare and decided to hang it up in the entry to my laundry room so I had somewhere to hang wet clothes that couldn't be dried. Brilliant! The best decision I ever made. This is so cool. If you have the bandwidth, I'd recommend installing one of these. Of all the things that I do to keep on top of my household, dishes are the things I struggle with the most. There's just always something. There's no way to do it perfectly, and that drives me crazy. And when I'm feeling overwhelmed, dishes are the first thing that get neglected. But it's a compounding problem. Whenever I have the bandwidth to handle all of my dishes to clear my dishwasher, I can cook more easily. But sometimes you just have to be gentle with yourself if you don't have the bandwidth to get stuff done. But I will say, when I feel like I'm spending an inordinate amount of time on my household, it's almost always stuff related to the kitchen. Little things like this where it drives me crazy to have fruit everywhere, so we gotta contain it in a basket. Makes me feel better, but I am choosing to spend time doing that than I am on other things, and that's a balance I'd like to flip eventually. My kids love to help me put away laundry, and you'll notice that I don't have to bend down to pick up any of the clothes. It's because they're handing me stuff faster than I can put it away, and it's so cute. There was a book that I haven't read yet, but I've picked up. It's called Hunt, Gather, Parent, and from what I gather from it, kids thrive when they're included in things, when they feel like they have a purpose. And I've spent a lot of my parenting years so far just handling things in the background while they're just wandering around doing whatever. But I feel like we're closer and we're more engaged with each other when we do things together. So I've been not distracting them while I try to get stuff done, but try to include them. And honestly, most of the time things take a lot longer than I wish they would, but I feel like these are the memories I'm going to keep with me going forward. And it really is the whole point. They are what matters most to me. listing created, and quicker than I thought I would do it. I actually was giving myself a week to get it done, or at least until this video is edited, but same day I did it. So now my kids and I are outside enjoying the nice weather, and yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. I think it was a really good first attempt at organizing and cleaning YouTube. So as I was filming that closeout update, someone messaged and offered to buy the thing I just posted. So we are done. I feel like that's a good day's worth of work. Nice. Okay, next day, mattress moved. Another box showed up, like FML. But the person who bought the little racetrack thing also took the slide and the little rocker thing that was in here. So things are looking a lot more clear. This is awesome. So one step at a time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.